wicked one, you shall surely die, and you do not speak to warn the wicked to turn from his way. That wicked person shall die in his iniquity, but his blood I will require at Jordan.
Again, with each passing moment, strength I find to meet my trials here, trusting in my Father's rising open. I will pause for worry or for fear. Jesus' heart is lightning but no measure, gives unto each what he deems best. Lovingly his mark of gain and pleasure, making toil with peace and rest.
Cloud, on all passed through the sea, and all were baptized into Moses in the cloud and in the sea, and all ate the same spiritual food, and all drank the same spiritual drink, for they drank from the spiritual rock that followed them, and the rock device that we've invented. It isn't required. We do it because it's a helpful teaching tool. And we do it 40 days before Easter. And so we start on Ash Wednesday, and if you count out the days, you're going to have more than 40 that way, because you don't count the Sundays in that. And so this is these 40 days, and it's 40 for a reason, because Jesus was 40 days in the wilderness being tempted by the devil. Just like God's people in the Old Testament were 40 years in the wilderness and received a lot of temptation during that time. They were 40 years and they had their really ups and downs and some dreadful times. But in this kind of a situation, we can see the importance of the theme then, God's faithfulness in our temptations. The temptations of the world get the best of us. And we're trying to run the show ourselves, or we're listening to the voices in the world instead of the voice of God in our lives, and we get into all kinds of trouble. Other temptations come along the way. Immorality. It talks about sexual immorality. This was really a big thing for the Corinthians. In fact, the word itself, you can take the word to Corinthianize, was to act in a sort of sexual manner, to Corinthianize. So 1 Corinthians. And this talks about the sexual immorality of this city. This one place that Mary and I got to visit along the way as we were traveling some years ago on a Crete tour. And we came to Corinth, this wonderful town kind of on a divide between the two seas there. And it's a beautiful Acropolis on top of a hill, and it's just a wonderful looking place. But it was a special place for sacred prostitutes. And so immorality was a big temptation to our early church there. People who were used to doing this kind of thing, it's thrown onto them there. So immorality, we can see how it hits people in their lives. We see the stars around us that kind of fall, like Tiger Woods, like David Letterman, and many others in our world. Actually, and so you think, why should we should worry about this with this bunch? I think it's more than talking about sexual immorality in this sense. It's really talking about another way of looking at a kind of idolatry. As we look at the book of Hosea, we find Hosea marrying a prostitute, and then she keeps on going after her former lovers, the others that are added into the picture. And so it's a battle. He says, this is a picture of God and his people. They keep going after the prostitutes, you might say, the ones that are not the authentic person they're supposed to be. And so they're going after other gods instead of serving the true God who's given for you. This do in remembrance of me. In the same way also he took the cup after supper. When he had given thanks, he gave it to them, saying, drink of it, all of you. This cup is the New Testament in my blood, which is shed for you for the forgiveness of sins. This do as often as you drink it in remembrance of me. Precious blood of our Lord, strengthen and preserve you in the true faith unto life everlasting. Go in peace.